Hey everybody, I'm Kelly Ellers,
I'm Jeffrey Lennon.
and this is Volume Up by the Teas. Jeff, I have a little package here.
What's that?
It says Amica Backrooms on it. Have you seen all these posts out there with
I think
people
I've seen
unboxing?
a few.
I don't think I've ever done an unboxing. You
And
get to
here
be
you
my
are.
first subject.
Doing
Amica
it
does.
with all of us.
So this little package from Amica, let me do what the girlies do. Okay.
From the back room.
Amica Backrooms, welcome to the Backroom Testing Group 0826. Congratulations, you've been selected to enter the Amica Backrooms where stylists access beauty before it's bottled. Okay, shall we?
Let's.
First one up. Oh my God. I don't know if I got sent the right stuff. This says
okay.
Amica lab sample.
Oh.
Do you think it was supposed to be this? Let's smell it. See
Yeah,
what
what-
it smells like. Oh, it's Amica. I can tell. It just takes me somewhere. To a
back room?
Okay. This is the shampoo. It takes me to a back room. Okay. What else do we have here? We have a conditioner, another lab sample. This is pretty cool.
Do we smell similar? Is
It's
it
nice.
the same sort of vibe or is it different?
Same. Whew. Just again, it gets me. I remember when Amica came on the scene at America's Beauty Show years ago, and they had this incredible trailer with all these graphics, and people were like, "What is this?" Total disruptor, and clearly, obviously, still disrupting.
Continuing to do
I
so.
have another one, a treatment.
Spray bottle. for people that are not
0801, another lab sample.
watching. Okay.
Shall we?
Treatment. Yeah.
What do we
open it up.
think?
Crack it open.
1, 2, 3. Okay. Yeah. Yep. What do you think this is? Should I
mean,
spray
it's-
some?
Sure, why not? Spray it into the air. It says treatment, question mark, on the
It
label?
says treatment.
What are we
Let's see
working
the
with? Yeah,
viscosity of this.
yeah.
Okay. Can we see
Is
this?
it like a light mist?
Oh, it's a light mist.
Is it?
doesn't
No, I
feel.
don't know.
It doesn't feel sticky. It feels
Oh.
kind of slick.
Mm.
I like it. I feel like I want to put this on.
Don't know what it does
Me?
exactly.
Should I just do a little? I don't know what it's. I'm gonna do something here. I feel like this has got to be some sort of protected treatment, protected because of the feel.
Mm.
And I want to put it on my wet hair. So I'm taking it home. And that is what we have in our little Amica Backrooms.
Incredible. So if you are
Fantastic.
watching or listening
Yes.
along and you want to get your own box, you should go to amicabackrooms.com and this could be you. And you could be among the pros that are the first literally ever to test out this product that we're not going to say
Really
more
sure.
about.
Smells good.
It smells good. That counts for something. So if you like Amica, get in on it.
We love Amica. So Jeff, what have you been up to recently? I got to tell you, I did this world tour in New York.
You really did.
I don't even know how many hours I was there, from like a 4 o'clock to like a 10 o'clock. 2 days,
Mhm.
2 major TV
Many
shows,
stops. Hmm.
Fox, and I'm just gonna say it. That anchor was not a nice girl. She tried to bag me hard, and it was about the book. It was about the book, and she was like, "I go, have you ever been called nice?" And you're kind of like, "Ooh," because you think the word nice means something different. And she's like, "Actually, I like being called nice." And she would feed me, and I'd go, and then I'd feed her back, and she'd tank me. So, and then I don't
Not
know,
a
it was
fun,
just
healthy
kind of
volley.
it was just kind of an interesting thing because it was like the antithesis of the point.
Mm. I mean, she's got a sort of track record.
Yeah,
as
no
being
names will be named, but
no.
So,
But I think you could
yeah.
put it together.
I don't want to dwell on it because the other
no.
lady was fantastic, and then I met with
There,
some
that's
beautiful people that are partners with the Teas, and it was a heat wave, and
that.
I
Was it
was
ever?
literally I was wearing 4-inch heels in a heat wave, pulling my suitcase around New York. I went from Uptown to Greenwich to Long Island to Hudson Yards. That's some ground, Jeff. Anyway, enough about me. What have you been up to?
I mean, nothing remotely similar to that level of travel. I mean, like getting the miles in.
My
No, I
4-inch
mean-
heels steps in. I got them in. My
mhm.
feet hurt still. So
I mean, mine's like commuting to summer, whatever, camps and the like. Nothing terribly
Okay.
exciting, although my background is now back to
Better.
its normal because good God, last week's episode, that was
You
frightful.
were like in a closet somewhere
It
in
did it
Maryland.
it did
And
look as such. Yeah, yeah.
and now I switched my background
You did.
to the chagrin of our producer who found out when she logged
Just
on
minutes
and
ago.
wasn't happy,
Well, we got
still
to keep
not
people on their
happy.
toes.
But if you work with me, shit's gonna change on a dime. So
That's fair.
anyway,
And who can't relate to that? I mean, God, the world is changing so fast.
yeah.
What's a background?
What's a background? Nothing. Plus,
Nothing.
look at it. This is the T. It's the T
It's
is
an upgrade.
background.
It's an upgrade. We love to see printed represented here.
I
So
know.
this is good news.
Goodness.
Something that we are gonna sort of delve into quickly,
Yes.
in the spirit of like giving some local color.
Ugh.
This was brought to our attention from
Ugh.
senior digital producer. That again, I don't know that everybody knows this, and so we'll recap a little bit. The Tease Media are headquartered in Madison, Wisconsin. We are in
Hmm.
Squarely, Wisconsin, although I myself am not in Wisconsin. And so this is relevant, I think, to a lot of us. It was brought to our attention that Green Bay, Oshkosh, and Appleton are ranked
Mm.
among the most damaging cities in Wisconsin for
Mm-mm.
hair health.
Yeah. It
So
doesn't sound great.
no, between humidity, UV radiation, sunshine, wind, and hard water, this is things are not looking good. So we do feel for our team members
We
who
do.
are
We have a
located.
team member. We
We do.
won't call her out. But we have a team
No.
member that lives squarely in Appleton, and I'm worried. I'm worried now. I'm
Yeah,
worried for her.
we need to make sure that she's stocked up on
She
all
has
of the
filters. She's
reparative,
got
yep,
the
preventive and
shower
reparative
head,
things. Yes, yes.
the salt that goes in the thing with the
Mhm.
water softener
What I will
thing.
say quickly about Appleton, and this is the deep cut, their airport
Ouch.
surprisingly nice.
Lovely.
So if
Oh,
you are ever gang needing to connect for some reason to Appleton,
for
as I
some
did
reason.
coming off of a flight from Brazil, beautiful,
You
beautiful.
went Brazil to
It was
Appleton,
Brazil,
Wisconsin?
I think Brazil, Atlanta, then it was Appleton because they
That's
couldn't get me
bizarre.
into Madison or
Okay, when you live, yeah,
when
okay.
yeah. So anyway, it was like a weird roundabout way. And yeah,
I
but
love
I
me a
was
little airport because I feel like we had one in my near my little town
hmm
in Iowa and only a couple flights went in and out, but they had
hmm
this beautiful, not beautiful, they had this amazing diner that was like connected to it. It was incredible. You're like, yes, I need pancakes right now and
obviously.
biscuits and gravy.
I mean, if people are drinking at all hours of the day in an airport, they can have breakfast foods at all hours of
Yes.
the day too. But
I
yeah,
think
anyway, go.
this is a good reminder though to like check if you need softener salt, if you need, I know nothing
hmm
about this, if you need the shower heads. My
Detox
stylist told me to get
shampoos.
this the shower head, and then
hmm
my husband's like, that doesn't fit on ours. And so I was like, oh shoot. So I mean, I'm
You got to
probably
look into
squarely in
these
the
things
danger
too.
zone.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Squarely. I do. I mean, I obviously we are beauty editors. We get inundated with all sorts of things.
Yes.
The shower head things I do wonder about because like I mean again, I'm in an area where I don't have such hard water, etc. concerns. So maybe I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't know. You wonder how much of it's just marketing versus like real need.
Fair.
But that said, some of them are really cute looking, and I'm always like, do I want a pop of color? Because the ones that are like sort of primary colors, they're like
Yeah.
red. Or I'm like,
Yeah.
would that be fun? Do we want that in our shower? Maybe
Not
for the
me.
kids. I don't know.
Yeah. Me for the kids.
You've answered that for us.
I'm past that baby stage. I'm
Yeah.
past the
No, I
stage
got
of
you. I
like
got.
bath
Yep.
toys and things and the duck that goes over the
Oh
spout
God, if
and the
I
like
could, just when we were done, we're back in it with
mhm,
that stuff.
with that last
Hmm
gal of yours. She's
hmm
cute, by the way. God bless it.
Thank you. It
Welcome.
makes it easy. It makes it easier to deal with all of the accoutrement
Yeah.
of the because
Because she's
God
so
damn.
damn cute. You just want
Yeah,
to
but
squish her. Yeah.
You do, but then there's all of that stuff, and
Yeah.
I want to throw
Then you're
everything in the
like,
trash. Yeah. I'm sick of this shit. She'd be fine without it.
she would. We only had one toy growing up. Nobody
Exactly.
protected the bath
That's,
thing.
I know,
If we
but
bonked our
then
head on it, we do it once and
then you don't do it
then
again.
we
I know,
call it
but
good.
it was funny. So speaking of Maryland, when I was at my mom's home,
Oh,
she's not had all of the things baby proofed, etc. Which again, like we're not there all the time. But I did think about like the tub and
you
just
did.
one
Yeah.
time that would hurt. That would
And
hurt.
she's got the buffer at home, so she's not
Hmm.
used to seeing the
Hmm.
steel
Hmm.
thing.
And again, no, thankfully nothing happened, but I'm just,
Phew.
these things are real. Something else that's real that you and I, again, we're
I don't
both, we
know.
we are admitted, well, I'm an admitted tanorexic recovering. I did love myself a tanning bed,
Same.
some
Oh,
tanning
same.
sprays, some load, like the whole thing.
Yep.
And now there are tanning peptides.
Yes.
How do we feel?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know about that. I just don't know about that because, a spray, rub of whatever, tanning bed
Hmm.
will even eventually like go away, but this is like
Hmm.
in your system. Like,
Hmm. Melatonin 2 is what it's being
mm,
referred to as. Yeah, we are talking about people that are injecting.
mm. I just don't know because I want it to be even.
Sure.
What if part of my cells
Yeah, no, this is valid.
absorb more? Like, what
Yeah.
if my neck gets tan and not my legs? What if
Hmm.
my
Hmm.
hands get tan but not my arms? I'm sure this is not at all how it works
I,
because I'm
I
sure
mean,
it's absorbed. You really should ask that doctor
I,
that
I
lives in
I
your
will.
house. Yeah.
But I am looking at this article and it's saying that it's not approved by US FDA,
Yeah, I
not
don't.
established safety data.
Mm,
And this is, I mean, that's
it's
the
a
sort of
risky
wild
one.
west of
It's a risky one.
peptides. Uh-huh.
I mean, I
Uh-huh.
love me a peptide, but
No,
I
yeah,
don't
yeah,
know if
yeah.
I could go
Maybe not this one.
that far.
So, have you heard about that creepo longevity guy that has wound
No.
up with a weird autoimmune stomach eating something or
Oh
another?
God.
The guy that's done all
Was he
of,
on this peptide?
I don't think he was. He would benefit probably from some of this melatonin,
Yikes.
mela,
Which one got him? Who knows?
melanotan. Uh, that's
Melanotan?
what it's called, not melatonin.
Melatonin.
Melanotan too.
We're going night night while we get tan.
Exactly. But no, this guy's like that creepy, like pasty white man that thinks that he looks like his kid, that gets like the
Okay.
blood spun and all sorts of other peptides and things. But anyway,
Yikes.
he's now developed some sort of like awful autoimmune something or another,
You
which gives
don't like
everybody
that.
pause, I
Yeah,
think.
that's not good.
Maybe in moderation, you
Yeah,
know?
I mean, I like my peptides not because I don't think they necessarily make me look younger, but maybe that's a byproduct, but it's from like an energy perspective and like
Sure.
brain fog, all the things that women like ease into at this
Hmm.
stage of life.
Hmm.
I'm
Hmm.
easing out of. I'm easing back. I'm stepping
We
back.
love that. We love that for you, and you're doing
Thank
it with
you.
professionals. Unlike
Very.
again this gentleman who maybe didn't, but yeah, no, tanning
Hmm.
peptide. I worry, and I've seen some photos of some people that have hit the sauce, and it's scary. It reminds me. Did you ever watch the
Yes, probably.
documentary about the woman who turned purple? The like
Was it like
mother.
Tan Mom? Was that her name?
No, but she does look like this person did look like no, but it's like somebody who had taken like colloidal silver and turned blue.
Oh,
Anyway, that
yeah,
is what it
that's
reminds
not.
me of, but also Tan Mom. So deep cut again, Tan
You know,
Mom.
and I feel bad. I feel like the nice girl in me feels bad because I think that it is an addiction in a way, the
Oh,
tanning. And
oh,
it's like a self, and I'm not here to say that maybe I wasn't at once. I haven't done any of that in a long time. I'm embracing my natural color.
hmm.
And I don't know, you can get addicted to. I mean, you were. I'm just gonna out you right
No,
now.
I for sure was. I jokingly, but like for sure had in addition to other issues, but like was for sure hitting
Yeah.
the tanning sauce and the beds and the
Sauce.
whatever.
Huh.
But yeah, this it worries me a little bit. I'm hoping that it doesn't sort of catch on.
You know what else worries me is this obsession with the UV index among kids. Like they look at it like young
Mm,
girls that are like 12, 13 on up. They're like UV index is whatever. I'm getting my tail outside and I'm like UV index is that? I'm getting mine inside.
inside. and I'm putting on some more SPF.
Wearing a
I
hat
was
and
I was I was watching Tracy Ellis Ross on Kiki Palmer's podcast, and she
Is
was
that your
talking.
girl? That one?
You did it. I didn't do it. But they were talking about this, and like, there's
Hmm.
no ozone anymore. So like, put on your sunblock.
It's going straight to you.
Particularly, they were talking about women and the
Oh, your
neck, and
neck.
like, just make
Yes.
anyway. Again,
The neck.
I'm not suggesting do whatever the hell you want.
Yeah. The
They were
neck.
talking about
Ooh,
it anyway. But I'm saying, yeah, we there's a very big generational divide right now. Like,
there
we are
is.
all slathering ourselves with SPF,
Hmm.
and you know.
Reversing it. Yeah. Peeling
And
our
then we've
faces
got
off.
the
Yeah.
younger, but which is maybe always
Uh-huh.
the case, because when I was a kid, I wasn't,
Totally. I
you know,
mean,
I
yeah,
know, but it's
totally.
more dangerous now. The sun, everything is more potent. So
It's more potent. Stay safe out there.
stay safe.
Yeah. Okay, so we're going to do a transition into the fine print. The conversations women are actually having once Zoom ends, the Slack goes quiet, and everyone stops pretending everything's fine. Each week, we're breaking down a story from culture, business, beauty, or the workplace that says a lot more than the headline itself. We'll talk about the power dynamics, the double standards, the leadership lessons, and the things ambitious women are still navigating every single day. Because even though the workforce has evolved, some things surprisingly haven't changed that much at all. So I want to talk about yesterday was the 25th anniversary of Legally Blonde. Can you believe it? That was 25 years ago?
I'm in full-blown
Like,
denial. There's nothing that registers that much passing of time.
I
But of
know.
course it is past. So yeah, 25 is a big milestone though.
It is. And, now the new show Elle is
Hmm.
out. Who plays Elle Woods in Elle, obviously. I thought that would be a hard one to sort of replace Reese, but I've heard incredible things about it. I was actually talking
Hmm.
with the receptionist at a news station yesterday all about it. But one of the things that makes me kind of go, is how did you feel about her optimism back then? That was the 90s, right?
Hmm.
So were we like poking fun at it? Like she's so silly and this is so off base that it's like silly, funny, cool. And I just want your take on that. Like, how did we feel back then about it?
I mean, uh, the initial character, I think, is made or sort of written and played in such a way that, yeah, it is sort of funny. Like,
Right.
we are to make fun of how optimistic and cheery and all of those things that she is. Ultimately, though, I mean, like, it's what redeems the whole thing, and she comes
Right.
out the hero, and it's this doggedness and whatever, that sort of brings the plot along. Like, yeah, I mean, it's definitely, she was like the butt of the joke, but then it gets
Yeah.
flipped.
It gets
And
flipped.
obviously,
Yeah.
there's another film in which she takes up the same thing, and yeah, but I mean, that character made such a mark because of its like express.
Yeah, it was
I don't know.
so out of norm back then.
Hmm.
And now with this new release in 2026, it just made me think in writing the book Nice Girls Win,
Hmm.
Reese and Elle in that movie was an original nice girl 25 years ago. And has that stigma of the nice girl evolved in business? And I want to change the conversation because I think niceness, as she used in the movie, and I
Hmm.
assume Elle will as well in Elle, um, is to rip up the script that niceness is a weakness, right? And that all fierce leaders have to be this boss bitch because they don't. And I wonder how that this show will resonate with today's young working female workforce.
Yeah. I mean, that's an interesting question,
Yeah.
because so much of it is like banking on, as we've talked about a lot, the nostalgia marketing,
Yeah.
and us remembering what that was like. And I think like
Yeah.
the show, I'm curious to see how it sort of lands with the younger generation. I've been hearing that it's got a like really Gilmore Girls like quality,
Okay.
and
Interesting.
people young and old are sort of
Hmm. Us.
younger and not as young are gravitating towards it, because of the way that it's been sort of
Okay.
done. So yeah, I'm hopeful, but I think you're bringing important questions up about how much have things changed in 25
Yeah.
years, and I think unfortunately probably not that much.
And let's change them.
So in the same vein of things that we're really into right now, and obviously we're both sort of thinking about the
Hmm.
L legally blonde of it all, we've got Obsessed or Over It, where we react to products, services, trends, and decide if they're a hit or a miss. We're breaking down what's worth the hype, what's not, giving you our honest takes along the way.
Yep.
Show notes, you're going to see the links to these things that we're responding to in real time for the first time. And the first thing that we're seeing here is normalizing the algorithm.
Yeah. It's
Uh,
it's funny when I say the word algorithm to people because we're all about the algorithm at the T's because we
mhm,
produce actual results for our clients.
mhm.
Anyway, and we want
Boop.
to make sure, boop, we want to make sure that we're leveraging the algorithm. But it's funny, we think about it all the time, but do other people think about the algorithm?
Well, I mean,
Is it
as you, I
commonplace
think
at all?
unfortunately it is, which is what this is getting at. So, I mean, there are, as we all know, many different algorithms on these different
Yes.
platforms for different features.
Hmm.
And it does feel like we are gamifying with our content. Obviously, we
Yeah.
are professionally, but like as an end user, like a normal person engaging on these apps, like it can be exhausting where again, if you're used to chasing the dopamine of like, oh, my friend saw this and liked
Yeah.
it, and
Yeah.
then they don't because the algorithm doesn't want to serve out the content that you've put out there
It's
because it's not
wild.
a like get ready with me reel, which maybe isn't natural to you. Like, yeah, it can be, I think, upsetting. So I like that people are being critical. Obviously, we have just come off of a huge move by Meta and Instagram.
Yep.
Instagram was going to allow, well, I mean, you had to opt out of a feature in which they were going to allow your content to be AI'd,
Ugh.
and potentially your likeness and all sorts of
Yeah.
things being used without your consent. So
Hmm.
yeah, there was a lot of backlash around that, and then that feature magically went away. They
Yeah.
agreed that
It's
they could
not
do better.
interesting. Hmm.
So then, this kind of sentiment, I think maybe is gonna challenge the status quo, and
Yeah.
all people want is to be able to post stuff and see the things that their friends have posted.
Yeah.
That's been the largest criticism for a decade or more for Instagram,
Yes.
at least. And like, what the fuck is it going to take for Meta, Zuck, etc., to make that
Zucky.
happen?
Hmm.
Are we gonna have to pay for it? Is that really the ultimate move? You
Yuck.
wonder.
Of course. I mean, why would they back off the machine if this is a revenue driver, right? And we're all
Right.
trying to crack it. But here's what I'm obsessed with is the comments. Okay. So
Hmm.
somebody said, no, seriously, the struggle is real out here. Yes, please. Hard relate. I wish the flat lay era would make a comeback. I feel this on a spiritual level. Like this is so good, right?
Yeah.
Um, like if we could all rally around this would be incredible. Like this got an emotional response from me just by the way. It's fantastic. And the other one said, I literally started posting statics with a solid color background and a simple text for one of our clients and happy to report that it works. So
Hmm.
let's all band together, shall we? Let's just call it. Like just call it.
Let's throw a wrench in the system.
One
I'm
flat lay
obsessed.
away from a
Yeah.
change,
I
changing
mean,
culture.
the flat lay is very close to the girl grip trend. I mean, like we're really
It
just
is.
like inches away at any or like shades of gray from things that it's all very strange. I'm obsessed with the idea of making
Same.
the
Completely.
algorithms work differently.
For
So
us.
yeah, for us.
Yes.
This is
Oh,
something, yeah, we were just chatting
we
about
were.
Tanmaxxing.
Indeed.
I I'm
Ooh.
I'm gonna say that I'm over it.
Yeah.
I, as established, do love a
Hmm.
tan.
Hmm.
But
Yeah.
I don't think we should be maxing it. Like,
No.
mm,
And for those of us out there, I mean, there's all types of tan maxing, right? I mean, it's
hmm
obviously being the sun, but then
hmm
it's the self tanners, the blah, the
Self tan
scents.
away. How about that?
Yeah.
I'm obsessed with tan maxing if it relates to doing it safely with product and not
That is
exposing
safe.
yourself to sun.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
some products are probably
aren't.
worse than being in the sun.
So yeah, I'm
Um,
mostly
I'm
over
for it
it.
that way. I also just think I can't compete here. So I'm
It's
going
down
to
for
say
you.
I'm over it because I just can't go there. It seems like I even see some of my favorite influencers where I know that they're rubbing it on and then like the cracks and like this is
Uh-huh.
pale. And I can't, it seems too high maintenance
It's a lot.
for
Yep, it's a
me
lot.
even.
Hmm.
And that's saying a lot because
And you
we maintenance over here. We lots of it.
you're not a stranger to some maintenance,
No,
but
we'll
that's a step too
maintain.
far.
We're always maintaining, but this is too far.
but maintaining it. I mean, it is tough, right? I mean, the color matching between all of the, but
The
you know, if you want to
non-orange,
take that
the
on, I'm
streaks.
pro you maxing in those ways,
Yeah.
but generally not.
And don't max out in the UV because
No,
again,
no.
PSA up to the top of this conversation, we don't need
Hmm.
to UV max
Nope,
either.
nope, nope, no, we do not.
No.
Okay, so next we've got Love Island, the finale
Hmm.
looks. So Love
Yes.
Island has come and gone incredibly. It feels like it was everywhere and now it's over, which is kind of devastating. Like I feel like just
I
when
think, yeah,
I was
people are probably
peaking,
upset.
yeah, I mean I am. I was like, oh, I want to get in, and then now I can't get into it because it's done. But these looks, we've got the looks.
Yeah, they're
Um,
looking too.
what are your
Oh,
thoughts?
great. I mean, I think the looks are all fantastic. The women look absolutely beautiful. Their hair's
Hmm.
on point. Like,
Hmm.
I like the pink one that's just sort of like a strip and a strip and a strip.
Hmm.
That's, I mean, it's hot, right? I like the pearl one. I like all of them. I
It's
think the
very
stylists
fun.
probably they probably all had different stylists, but I mean, some could be approaching tacky, but isn't Love Island kind of tacky? Like,
Beautifully put. Beautifully
isn't that on
put.
brand?
Yes, it is
Hmm.
on brand. No, this feels right as rain to me. I mean,
I'm
I feel
obsessed.
it's of a cloth, of a
Yeah,
star. Yeah, I'm obsessed too.
they're
I love this
beautiful.
for them.
Me too.
I yeah,
I love the confidence. They feel great. They look amazing.
they
So
do.
go, don't max out Love Island looks. Max.
Look, Max. Don't look, Max. These looks just as a I'm sort of scrolling through again. They are very
Racy.
throwback. Well, yes, racy
Oh,
for sure.
they
Very
are Britney
sexy.
throwback, like
Yeah,
the
these
snake
are
with the slave for you.
these
Remember?
are very much like a but then you do wonder like beachwear, like sexy wear, has it really changed much? It's like we all
Mm,
kind of like are stuck in like what is like
like a
barely there.
sarong and a
Right.
yeah, like
You know?
a sheer sarong. I don't wear a sheer
Yeah.
sarong. Jesus.
But these girls do. They do, and they look great.
They look
I'm obsessed.
fantastic.
They
Zen,
all look
do
incredible.
it.
So
You do
there's that.
you. Go. Go.
Oh, okay.
Oh, the next one. I mean, this is like heaven on earth. This is Zendaya. She arrived at the New York premiere of the Odyssey looking like a literal goddess.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the hair. Do we know who did the hair, Jeff?
Corey Moreno. Yep,
Oh
we sure do. We
God.
sure do. You know, it's so good. I
I can't.
Mhm.
It's fantastic. And it looks like the most beautiful human on the earth. So,
Well, so I mean, she's playing a goddess, and it is
yep.
very much like her whole thing is like she understands the assignment. So like for
She
her press
always does.
tours,
Yeah.
she really turns out the looks. And
Yeah.
in this one, again, New York, she's like a fallen angel, goddess, creature, character. Like it's so good. She's giving all of those things, and the hair is definitely part of the
Yeah.
look, which I do love. Like these are not divorced from, which sometimes
Yeah.
that can happen.
Right. Right.
And you really get the storytelling in all aspects, which we do love. And but yeah, very, very obsessed with this and all of the looks that she's been turning out. She never disappoints. So
Never. She is on point all the time. Okay, today we're joined by Lauren Paglionico. Lauren is one of the most prominent hair color specialists in New York City, bringing unprecedented artistry to her work as a top beauty expert with a deep dedication to the needs of her clients. With over 20 years of experience working in New York's most distinguished salons, she had garnered a cult-like following by being an innovator in the industry with a specialty in balayage and blondes. Make sure that you subscribe, rate, and review, and follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and TikTok at Read the Tease, and send in questions to volume up at thetease.com.
before we get to my interview with Lauren, let's talk Tease beauty news, shall we?
Shall we?
The first article we've got is Ica Flores creates 90s heartthrob hair for Hudson William at the Balenciaga Haute Couture show.
Mm.
At the Balenciaga Haute Couture show during Paris Fashion Week, actor Hudson Williams debuted a modern take on the iconic 90s heartthrob hairstyle, effortlessly complementing the fashion house's sharp tailoring and understated aesthetic. Behind the look was celebrity hairstylist Ica Flores, who drew inspiration from the effortless floppy styles that defined the decade while tailoring the look to Williams' natural texture and movement. Flores built volume, enhanced his natural wave, and created a finish that felt soft, touchable, and polished without
Mm.
ever looking overstyled. The result was a hairstyle that captures the nostalgic charm of the 90s leading man while feeling completely modern for today's runway. Head to thetease.com to learn how to get the look for your clients. What's your take on this? Do you enjoy the like resurgence of the like Devon Siwa but better?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying the resurgence because I just don't like the broccoli cauliflower hair, which both of my
Yes.
kids are participating in, and they just look handsome, of course.
Yes, obviously.
But
Adorable.
you know what? My younger one had his hair slicked back after he took a shower, and
Hmm.
it kind of did this, what we're
Hmm.
seeing here. And I was like, that looks fantastic. You can actually see your eyes. So I love it. Let's bring it back. And you know what? Let's bring back highlights.
Let's
And
do that for
let's do
sure. I
that.
mean, I think seeing a hairline and a forehead is a good thing
I do too.
generally.
Hmm.
I agree, like the broccoli thing, the alpaca cut, it's all played out. And I
It's
wish people would
gone too
stop with
far.
it. It's
It's going
gone.
to be like the solid you look back and go, what?
Ooh, yes. No, and we all have had those.
We
But
have,
yeah,
sir.
right now it's definitely a thing. And
It's a
I'm
thing.
liking that men in particular are
Yes.
experimenting with hair and
Hmm.
length and texture and
I love
color.
it too.
So yeah, no,
Yes.
this is fantastic work and I'm excited to see more from Hudson Williams and team for sure.
Always. Anyway, Corey Marino used these three Nexus products to create Zendaya's effortless New York City Odyssey premiere hair. Zendaya does not miss. If you've been loving Zendaya's The Odyssey press tour looks, her New York City premiere hairstylist is the perfect example of effortless romance. Celebrity hairstylist Corey Marino paired her dramatic sculptural gown with soft lived-in hair using Nexus products, focusing on natural texture and movement instead of perfectly polished finish. The look came together with heat protection, loose bends, a workable texture spray, and a relaxed fishtail braid that was gently pulled apart for fullness and dimension. Marino's biggest takeaway for the stylist: don't be afraid of a little imperfection. These soft face framing pieces are exactly what make the style feel modern, romantic, and effortlessly beautiful. Head to thetease.com to get the look. This is everything. I mean,
Hmm.
I love, love, love the imperfection, the softness, the movement, the feel. I think we can agree that this was like a slam dunk.
Slam dunk. Could not be better. I like that this sort of like undone done thing is
Yeah.
happening in a big way. Like it doesn't feel effortless, quote unquote, in
Mm-hmm.
that way of like there's thought behind it. There's clearly
Mm-hmm.
storytelling that's being communicated by the look.
Mm-hmm.
It is cohesive, connects with the whole thing, and it's just like it's transporting you in a way. And
Mm-hmm.
that's what I think is like so successful about her looks in particular, is like she
Yeah.
really
She gets it. Like,
understands the
mm-hmm.
assignment, comes to give you that inspo. This is like the savable stuff that
This
we
is
all
it.
want to see over and over again. So shout out to her, shout out to Corey, shout out to
Yes.
Law Roach, even though he's working with Lauren Sanchez.
Yuck.
Blah. But yeah,
Blip.
no, this this is incredible.
I just want to say that if you give me a little look right now, that like kind of just a little,
A
I got the
little
assignment too.
a tousled curly hair moment that we're seeing more and more from you. Some texture. Thank you so much to our contributors and our editors for this week's beauty news. And don't forget to check out more stories like these over on thetease.com. There are tons of them.
Now stay tuned for our interview with Lauren.
Lauren Paglionico is one of the most prominent hair color specialists in New York City, bringing unprecedented artistry to her work as a top beauty expert with a deep dedication to the needs of her clients. With over 20 years of experience working in New York's most distinguished salons, including John Barrett at Bergdorf Goodman to Warren Tricomi at the Plaza Hotel and Madison Avenue, she's garnered a cult-like following by being an innovator in the industry with a specialty in balayage and blondes. Lauren always cultivates a warm, hospitable salon environment, and outside the salon is a dedicated, cool mom and loving wife. Lauren, welcome to Volume Up. How's it going?
Hi, thank you so much for having me today, Jeff. I'm really excited to be here.
I'm thrilled. Let's get into it. We ask all of our guests this question because it's such a big one. How did you get to beauty? How did this come to you? Did you come to it? What was it like for you?
Like most young girls, I love beauty from a young age. When I was really young, I used to cut my friend's hair, and I was like 5 years old, like taking the little plastic scissors and doing everyone's hair. And truthfully, when I turned 14, my mom was like, "Happy birthday, I have to get a job." And I was really surprised. And you know what? She saw it in me. She saw that I really loved it, but I didn't know at the time that this is something I could really have a career in. And she had
Hmm.
a friend who had a mutual friend who had a salon. She's like, after school, you're going to go to her salon, you're going to sweep, you're going to clean. And it just kind of evolved from there. So, yeah, so I've been in this industry since I'm 14 years old.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I love that. That's okay. This makes sense. Well, from sweeping salons to getting licensed, you've worked at some of the most iconic New York City salons that we are familiar with, John Barrett, Warren Tricomi. What drew you to the sort of like upper echelon salons at the beginning of your career? Did you sort of earmark this as like what you wanted to do from the jump? Talk to me about like what was exposure like in those early days?
Yeah, that's a great question. So, being from Long Island, I wasn't far from the city.
Hmm.
My family, I had my grandparents in Queens, so I spent a lot of time like going back and forth, and we would go in some Manhattan. And I loved all the beauty and fashion in the city. I loved it at a young age. If I didn't do hair, I probably wouldn't work in fashion. Like it was just
Okay.
something that was inside of me. When I started working in a salon at 14, from there, I went on to being beauty school. Actually, I went after school. I'm sorry, I went before school each day. So they worked for the trade school. So I was able to go half the day to beauty school and half the day back to high school, do my classes.
Hell
And
yes.
from there, I was very fortunate. I had that for free. And by the time I was graduating high school, I was graduating cosmetology school as well.
The dream.
It was amazing. And I look back and I'm so fortunate for that. While going to school, cosmetology school, I started working like the luxury salon in our neighborhood. And
Hmm.
that's when like I fell in love with hair color. And I really wanted to do this as my career. I knew that this was going to be it. And from there, I had a friend whose mom actually works at Bergdorf Goodman. She worked in the beauty level and was like, you should apply to the John Barrett salon at Bergdorf. It's amazing. And I
Hmm.
really was looking at a change back when I was like 18 or 19 years old. And I felt, I learned so much on Long Island, but I knew that this industry was constantly changing and being in the city would be the best place to be and further my education.
Ah, I'm loving this. If you could, Lauren, talk to us a little bit about early days. As a baby stylist, I mean, again, New York City, it's got a reputation. We understand like it's pretty intense. What are you able to tell us about those early days, getting started?
Early days, I mean, early 2000s is when I started, and it was hustle. It was amazing. It was nonstop. I had the best mentors. I had that I'm still in touch with today. I learned how to really just take a step back, take it all in, watch without doing and saying too much. It was very much about observing and learning from the consultation to also just deliver in the end. I think a lot of what the most important thing is during any type of service is the consultation and hearing what the client has to say. So that was one of the biggest lessons that I learned. I was commuting at that time from Long Island, so it was an easy 2 hours door to door, one way, and then
Is
back
that easy?
again. When you're 18, it's easy. Now I
Sure.
probably could
Yeah.
never do it. But yeah, it was intense, but I loved it.
Ugh. Okay, tell me about when you decided that, or maybe the inkling about wanting to go on your own. Because it is one thing, obviously, to be at an established salon, very different to sort of go it on your own. What were those determinations about? Like, what was making you think, like, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna go down that path because it's not for everyone.
No, it's definitely not for everyone. It's interesting because when I was young working in a salon and working for my mom's friend's friend, I was like, oh, when I have a salon one day, I'm going to do it like this and I'm going to do it
Hmm.
like that. And then when I started working in the city and working on these big luxury salons, I loved it. I loved everyone I worked with and I saw how this well-oiled machine ran. And I was like, oh, I don't need to run my own business. I can just do this. But then as time went on, I noticed myself saying, well, if I had my own salon, I would decorate it
Hmm.
like that. And if I had my own salon, I would have the front desk person say this and greet the client that way. And I started noticing it was becoming a regular conversation in my head. And then from there, I left and I started doing hair out of my apartment for a little bit
Hmm.
to like test drive it. And
Smart.
then I started working in a studio where it was a few other stylists. So it was like a WeWork at the time, like a WeWork for hairdressers type of
Hmm.
thing, where we're able to be independent on our own. And that kind of gave me the feeling of what it would be like to have my own business. But I was like,
Wild. Tell me about the hallmarks of your business now. I mean, you're on your own. What is that like? What do you think typifies the experience for both yourself and for your clients?
From my experience of being in this industry for so many years and working in so many different types of salons, from a
Hmm.
small mom and pop shop on Long Island to like the creme de la creme of the luxury, I wanted to create something that felt like it was in the middle, where it was a space where you could come and hang out and feel like you're just in your friend's apartment getting your hair done. I think a lot of the time, being in those big luxury salons, on the other side as the client, it can be intimidating. People
Oh,
feel
for
very
sure.
nervous to walk in and get their hair done there. And I never want to feel like that. I want to feel like warm and welcoming, like you're home. So that was part of that was like the main thing for me, was that was going to be the feel. I also wanted to make it, because I loved fashion and interior design. Again, wanting to feel like you're hanging out in your friend's apartment. So I didn't go with the traditional, just black chairs, white walls. We have like
Hmm.
really fun art. The chairs, we call them Aramez chairs because they're this beautiful like camel color. And we just wanted everything to feel really different, but still delivering that luxury service.
Tell me about challenges, if you could. Going down the middle, as you're saying, making determinations about what that looks like for you. Um, I'm sure it's not easy. So tell us a little bit about, I mean, obviously the sort of external, the exterior, the looks, but obviously the infrastructure too. Like what have you experienced as a business owner as you've gone on your own doing this for yourself?
That's a great question. What I've experienced as a business owner is that I left a job where I'm working 8 hours a day to be on my own, but that
Hmm.
is not just an 8 hour day, it's a 24-hour day,
Yep.
7 days a week. So it's not really, there are no days off.
Hmm.
I show up consistently for my team, whether I'm in the salon 5 days a week, 7 days a week, 3 days a week. I am always, everyone's always able to get in touch with me. I'm always in contact. I'm always in touch, making sure that everyone feels good, looks good. Every person that comes into the salon, whether they're sitting in my chair or not, I make sure I go over and touch every station, introduce myself, say hello. I think that those really make part of the business consistent and what it is. It's not just about the look of how everybody looks. It's about
Hmm.
how they feel, but it's also about, you're managing people, right? Like you're managing a team, and you also want to make sure that your team is happy and that you're there for your team so that they're able to perform and provide for their clients, however that may be.
So talk to me a little bit about that. The warmth is certainly something that is a hallmark of yours. And this is what people expect as clients when they come. Stylists learn to cultivate this through you and through mentorship. Um, why, firstly, is it so important to you?
No, it's so important to me because it's just second nature for me. It's just who I am as a human. It's just who I am as a person. And I am always have been very open-minded to always learning. And just, I am a student of life, and I want people to also feel that way, especially in our industry, and to always be open-minded, always be willing to learn and to grow. And I think that when you're humble and the ego doesn't get in the way, that kindness shines through.
Hmm.
We're all human at the end of the day, and the world is going through some crazy things. So if we can
Mhm.
just be there for each other and hear what each other is saying and what they need, then I think, kindness just goes all way.
Kindness certainly does go a long way. It's unfortunately not something that is taught in schools.
It's very true.
Cosmetology schools,
Sure.
so much is around sort of performing for the test, getting that
Yes.
license, and from there it's like, well, we wish you the very best. How do you think that, or do you think, I don't want to put words in your mouth, do you think that stylists underestimate the sort of emotional work that takes place as part of a career in this industry?
Don't think that they underestimate it. I don't think they're prepared for it.
Okay.
And going back to what you said about cosmetology school, you're taught to take a test.
Hmm.
You don't know what's really going to happen in the real world. And I think everything I've learned today was through mentorship and working in all different types of salons, meeting people along the way that extended, their hand to say, let me help you. And through that is how I really learned. It wasn't through cosmetology school. That was just to get a license. It's the same with driving, right? You're
Mhm.
learning you're taking a driving test to learn how to park and to, make sure you adjust your mirror, doing all the blueprint, but it's not how you become a good driver. You become a good driver with experience.
Beautifully put, very succinct. I'm wondering, was there ever a time, and I imagine that there was, where you realized that a client needed something more than just a hair appointment? I mean, the hair appointment was the reason that you were engaging, but the
Mhm.
engagement was around something else. Well, and if so, what was that like?
I think that happens quite often, actually, especially now. I think that, I was just saying to my client who just left, this is her last hair appointment before she gives birth.
Oh,
And I
wow.
said, you're the first thing you're going to do for yourself when you're ready to not be with the baby is you're going to come get your hair done. And I know that from experience. The salon is always the first appointment of, okay, I'm going to take a few hours for myself, do something for me. I'm going to go
Mhm.
get my hair done and not just look good, but feel good too. I mean, that's just one small example of when somebody is, going through something. I mean, on top of it, breakups happen, moving, losing a job, starting a new job, all those things. I mean, I think it definitely plays into being here. And that's why creating a safe space, so somewhere you just feel like you can be you and hang out and just be yourself. It was really important to me because life happens, like I mean, I've also seen on the other side too, right? Like sitting here and someone gets a phone call, they got their dream job. And that's a
Mhm.
beautiful thing too, and to be a part of all of that. But I do think sometimes we tend to make rash decisions based on an event that's going on in our life. I need to change my hair. I need to cut it off. I mean, I am blonde for 20
Mhm.
years and now I need to
Yep.
dye it black. And the first
Yep.
thing I say is, okay, what's going on? What's coming up for you?
I'm glad that you talked about a safe space. This is sort of buzzy in the industry at the moment. People talking about the importance of it without really ever describing what that is or how it happens. I would love to understand from your perspective, how do you create a safe space?
How do you create a safe space? I think anyone who is my generation or older can think of a time where they maybe worked in a toxic salon, right? Or a salon where they didn't feel supported,
Hmm.
or maybe even a salon where it was very competitive that the person next to you were competing with. Today, we all collaborate. We work together. I'm not available today, but this person can see you, or I'll be on vacation, but I know that they'll take care of you. Like it's become a little more about teamwork
Hmm.
and more about supporting one another rather than saying, well, she has more clients than me. And why is he busier than me? I think it's more about like how can we work together to not have that. I mean, you're spending majority of your day with the people you work with. So you want it to be a comfortable, happy place.
You would think that, and I'm glad that you're taking it seriously. I'm glad that this is a trend that we're seeing that
Me too.
people are being
Me too.
much more intentional and mindful about the environment overall. Because yeah, as you're saying, like you're spending so much time together and with each other and these things. Um, from the client perspective, how do you think that they feel safe? Like, what are the things that you do to ensure that they are comfortable, that they're willing to share, and to really go through a long and potentially expensive service?
I think that a client, because this is such a personal appointment, we're touching them, we're on top of them. I think that they
Hmm.
can feel your energy and we can feel theirs. And we as professionals, part of what we do is being able to sense when someone's nervous. And sometimes when someone's telling you what they don't like or what they don't want is a way of being able to figure out what they do want. So when you're able to decipher that for someone, I think that's when they get the trust and they feel like, okay, I'm in the right place, I'm in the right seat, like they get it. I think also when a client sees that everyone gets along in the workspace and that everyone's supporting one another, we're helping each other, that makes them also feel like, okay, this feels good.
I mean, you've talked about this a couple of times. It's a feeling that you're hoping to have, your client and your salon, your stylist feel experience. I'm curious about in a appointment, how much of the service do you think is about the experience versus the outcome? We're seeing, I mean, I'm sure you're aware of like the expensive blonde, the expensive brunette.
Mm,
Is that
yeah.
really the final outcome, or is that the whole process, the sort of the pampering, the discussion, the conversation? Like, where do you come down on it? Is it ultimately like what they look like when they're walking out of the chair? Is it in between? Is it only
It's the
what
whole
happens? Yeah.
package.
Okay.
It's
All
it's the
right.
whole thing. It's
Okay.
I need to deliver what I'm saying to you in this consultation. And when you're walking out the door, you will see if you are a client, if you're a client at the salon, you're watching this, you know that every single person that works here before you go is going to say to you, how do you feel? It's not, oh my God, you look so pretty. Like, yes, of course, we're giving the compliments, but
Yeah.
it's how do you feel? How does this make you feel? How did you feel about your appointment today? It's my go-to line, and it's required by everyone that
Mm.
works here to say that, even the front desk person. Wow, you look great. How do you feel?
I love that. It's such an interesting way to sort of flip it. I would imagine that it can invite difficult conversations. What if they're not feeling well as a result of whatever's happened? How do you handle those moments? I would imagine it's few and far between, to be clear. Like I'm not trying
It
to,
is quite few
but
and
yeah,
far
like what?
between, but I think, it's also, what it comes down to is, okay, so what can we do to make you
Mhm.
feel good? What is it that you don't like? And we're going to learn from it, and we're going to go from there, and we're going to fix whatever it is. Oh, you think that the front is too light? Let's put another gloss on. Easy, done.
I love that.
You got to make it much easier than it needs to be. Like we don't have to complicate things. And I think hairdressers, because this is an art form for us, that
Mhm.
some might take it personal when someone doesn't feel good or isn't happy. But that's when you have to like take a step back and say, okay, this isn't about me. This is about them. I'm doing something for them. So what am I going to do to fix it so that they come back?
I love that reframing. It's quite useful, I think, for a lot of things because there's certain things you can control, like in this case,
Mm-hmm.
some things you can't. I'm curious your POV on client retention. I mean, obviously, you have built a career. You've got a long, deep bench of clients. That's not easy for everyone. So, if you could, like, what are your
Mm-hmm.
top note? Like, what is the most general advice that you could give to somebody about how the heck they can sort of increase retention for clients?
I love that question. And you're right. I've had some clients that have been with me since day one, of working in the city. Uh, I think what it comes down to is that people want to be seen and heard.
Mm,
That's what it really comes down to is they're taking this time out of their day to spend 3 hours in your chair. They can go to any salon they want.
mhm.
I am always grateful for every person that sits in my chair. And I always say, thank you. Thank you for coming. At the end, I'm always like, thank you so much. It was so great doing your hair today. Like I had a blast. And I think people really just want to be seen and heard. I think they want to feel good. I think they want someone to be honest with them and tell them the
Mhm.
truth. Um, it's very hard today. It's much harder than it used to be with social media and trends changing so rapidly, right? Like we used to wait for September Vogue and be like, okay, the Bible
Yep.
is here. What are we doing for the next 6 months?
Mhm.
And now it's every other day, every week, like skinny jeans are in, now they're out. Oh, light blonde is in, roots are out, roots are in. Now, and it's really hard to keep up with that.
Mhm.
But I think if you're honest with someone and you say, hey, let's find what actually works for you. And if trends are your thing, go buy a new bag. Like let's
Yeah.
find something timeless. Let's find something timeless and effortless that's going to work and evolve with your look. And okay, you want to tone it down the winter like a shade or two, fine. But we're not going from black to blonde to dark brown to cowboy copper.
I'm
And
so
if
happy
that
that
is
you're
what you
saying
want to
this.
do, like we're gonna find you a great wig and get a great wig collection because we want to preserve your hair. We're all we care about is the health of your hair. And for it to look good, it's going to be healthy.
I mean, I'm laughing because this is not something that people often say. And I'm so glad and thankful that you are saying it because there's so much whiplash right now, particularly for colorists. As
Yes.
you're saying, like social media, my God, it's like, this is the hottest thing
Mhm.
ever. Then it's this thing. And that I
Yes.
would imagine it's exhausting. So, how do you protect your peace and how do you steer clients into directions that work to maintain hair integrity, which is ultimately the goal, but like keep them happy because there may be somebody who really wants to try that trend that may or may not work. So like, how do you negotiate those combos?
I think really explaining why you can't do that, especially in one sitting, and saying, okay, you've been bleach blonde for the last 5 years, and now you want to go to this caramel. That's fine. And yes, it would look good on you, but if you ever want to be blonde again, it may not happen. And if it does, it's not going to be for a very long time. So it's like being honest about how um it's about being honest. That's what it really comes down to. And sometimes the truth is hard and people don't want to hear it. But if you're doing it to be protective of them as a person and their hair, because a lot of people will just say, oh my God, great idea, let's do it. And then their hair's damaged and it's ruined. And why does it look red? And now if this color hasn't come out and my hairdresser said this, there's a lot of things you can do in between for soft, subtle changes. That, like doing a gloss or doing like an at-home gloss like Cara Color, which is amazing. I mean, it's,
Mhm.
that started out as a professional line and it's my go-to. And anyone that knows me is like, I can't believe Lauren's telling people to do anything at home on their hair, but I swear it works. It's easy to use. It makes their hair super shiny. And I feel confident that if I know they're using that, then when they come back, I can make subtle changes. But if they go and get something off the shelf that I don't know what it is, I don't know how your hair is going to lift and change either. Like there are ways, of course, to support the client's needs and be like, I hear you, I get it. You want to do something different, but then if you do it, like let's choose something together.
I'm loving the candor and the like, which I think is another one of your hallmarks, which is like you're quite yourself, particularly online, and this is what I want to get at. There's so much pressure to sort of come across a certain way. With you, you are just showing up as your authentic self. How do you do that? How do you manage social media generally? How much thought is going into your social media persona? Is it something you're hung up on? Is it something you try not to think about? I'd love to understand what that looks like for you.
Social media is tough. And I
Hmm.
think as a grown adult, I'm able to be a little more picky and choosy on what I look at and choose to put my time towards.
Mm.
I think because I do think it can be a time suck. And next thing you know, you're like, well, actually, I don't know what to do with my hair because I looked at this and I looked at that. And then ChatGPT told me I should actually have this color. And okay, let's take a breather. Let's put out there on your own account, put out what you want. I think we focus too hard on like what we think everyone wants to see rather than just being ourselves. Once you just start putting it out there, and it's hard. Listen, I'm not going to sit here and say like I have it down because there are times I struggle too, or I'm scrolling to get inspiration of what I should post, right? And I've
Hmm.
like looked at 100 things, and now I'm like, okay, never mind, I can't do it. It's not easy, and I'm really fortunate. I have an amazing social media person that works on the salon, so I am able to just focus on my own. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely it's a blessing and a curse, like the positive is that it's your portfolio, right? You can show
Hmm.
off what you want. And it is easier for people to find you that way, which is incredible. But at the same time, for someone who's also like a small business, it's also hard to be seen and hard to, get new clients if people can't find you or they're not searching for the right thing. And I think also from a client perspective, it can also make things confusing because you're seeing, Hailey Bieber's now Teddy Bear Brown and Sabrina Carpenter's really blonde, and you've been both, and now you don't know which one's going to look good on you. I think that's when you have to turn to the professional and say, hey, you do this for a living. What do you think will look good on me?
Another important reframing, I think. There's so much power that's been given to social media, but it sort of needs to be used in the right way. And as you're describing,
Yeah.
is I think like the better way to sort of engage with it. Something else that you've talked about is balance, to the extent that it exists, and sort of finding something that feels right for yourself. Uh, you're also a mom, self-described as a cool mom. You're a wife, you've got a family. In addition to this profession, how did or didn't family change your relationship to your profession, like your career? Like, is it? given you a moment to pause and to refit, like, or is it not? Like, I'm genuinely curious about this because I think it's such a fraud. I mean, like, as a parent, it's impossible to like turn off the one thing and only.
Yes.
So I just want to understand, for like, from your end, what's this been like for you?
I think it wasn't easy in the very beginning because, when you're a new mom and you have this little person who has all these needs, but you also have a
Hmm.
salon that's new, like you're trying to do this balancing act, which really doesn't exist. And that's what I have found is having grace with myself to say, okay, you know what? Some days the salon's only at 20% and my son's only at 80, and that's okay. And there's other days where I know he's in good hands and I can give 80% to the salon and my team.
Hmm.
It's the seesaw effect. It's not being like, okay, well, it has to be 50-50. If you focus on those numbers, you're going to drive yourself crazy. You got to be gentle with yourself and just be like, okay, this is what I can do now. I think for me, especially, I mean, I for so long in my mind was like, should I open a salon first? Should I have a baby first? What should we
Hmm.
do?
Hmm.
And we started IVF the same week I opened the salon. So I was like,
Oof.
okay, got it. Like we're doing it all at once.
Doing
Like
it.
these
Yep.
babies are coming together. And that's just been, the trajectory of my life and how I can explain exactly what I've built here is that, like it's all a learning game. Like like there's no handbook on how to be a great parent. And there's no handbook on how to, yes, there's a lot of books out there
Yeah.
that are great guidelines, but there's also no book that's going to say, okay, if you run your business like this, it's going to be perfect
Hmm.
and vice versa. So I think it's really just like finding that time to give what you can when you can do it, and also just like having some grace for yourself and knowing when to stop and when to rest and when to step away. I also think I have a really supportive partner, and my husband is amazing. He used to work in the beauty industry, so he gets it.
Mm.
So I'm able to do a lot, and knowing that when I do have a hard day, like yes, I can talk to him and I do, but he gets it 100 times more because he's been there before.
Mm. Tell me about boundaries. Do you have them? I mean, when you talk about like giving yourself grace, what have you sort of put in place for yourself so you don't lose your mind?
Mm.
20 years in this industry doesn't happen by accident. Lots of people experience burnout. It doesn't seem like you have, but maybe you have. So I'm curious, what are sort of scaffolding boundaries, things that you've put in place for yourself that keep it, as much on track as it's possible to be?
Boundary is another key word, right? That we're all trying to do now because our industry is all about pleasing people
Uh-huh.
and maybe not setting boundaries, right? Like, so that's been a very big learning curve for me is to maybe not respond to a client who texts me at 11 p.m. at night or, like waiting till the next day rather than feeling like, okay, I have to get back to them now. So
Mm-hmm.
setting a boundary there and just saying like, okay, like I need to rest. I'm going to get back to them when I have a clear head. I think another like boundary is even with social media, right? Like clients DMing you, potential clients DMing you, and because you're working on a person to person basis, and when
Mm-hmm.
someone reaches out to you that's potentially a new client, you get excited, right? You're like, oh my God, okay, like I can get this new client and it's gonna be great. And if they're happy, they'll send their friends, and you have the whole internal conversation, but also just like setting a boundary with that, with saying like, okay. This is how you can get in touch with me. I don't answer to, I don't do consultations over a DM.
Mm-hmm.
Let's have you come in. Let's do a consultation in person so I can see your hair. Because I'm sure you've gotten it where it's like you get the mile long message,
Yep.
and this is what I want, and this is what my hair looks like, and this is what it used to look like. And you're like, it's information overload. Like,
Yep.
come in, let's have a conversation. Let me touch your hair. Let me feel it. Like, I can only say so much. So I think setting boundaries, it's much, I love that clients can book online. It's changed how business is. If you look at the numbers, it's like, 75% of people book an appointment online after the salon's already been closed. So that's been great. But then
Mm-hmm.
there's also the other side of it. It's like where you're not talking to someone on the phone anymore, where you don't have them maybe coming in for the consult all the time because they just book what they think they're supposed to book, right? And then your timing is wrong and this and that.
Mm-hmm.
So, setting the boundary of let's get you in, let's talk in person, and then I'm going to get back to you in these business hours, I think is a major boundary that all hairdressers need to do for themselves. And I think even the client will respect you more if they understand that like these are my business hours. This is when I'm able to be available to you. So I think it starts there. Other boundaries, I mean, yeah, if like you need a day for yourself on a Sunday to just, like we are constantly talking to people all day. So if you need to take a full day to just be alone, not talk to anyone, like it's okay to not pick up your phone. It's okay to not be on social media, setting the boundary with that as well.
I think it's so interesting the overload, the sensory overload that
Yeah.
comes with the profession that I think people don't necessarily address, but it's
Mhm.
really real. I mean, it
It's
is
very
it can
real.
be a drain to be again physically on your feet, working with your hands and all of these things, but then constantly talking and sort of trying to figure out how people are feeling and the empathy and all of this stuff. So I'm just glad that somebody's saying it. Yeah,
Yeah.
sometimes you just need a day to not talk,
You do. No,
which
you
like.
absolutely do because you need to recharge, right? Like you have to recharge and like reset to be able to like perform and give. How can you give if you're depleted?
Yeah, if you got
Like
nothing to give. Yeah.
we're in an industry where we're giving 120% from not just doing hair, like you said, standing on your feet all day. We're talking all day. Who's having a baby? Who went through a breakup? Like, like there's so much empathy and it's a lot. So you have to set a boundary and say, like, okay, like this is what I'm gonna do for me. I am a people pleaser at heart. It's who I am. But like as I've gotten older, especially once I became a mom, I was like, my time is getting smaller and smaller. So I need to take
Mm.
that time to be able to give to him, give to here, and then give for myself before I could continue just giving to everybody else.
I love that. That's actually a good segue into this, which is, I mean, when you've got kids and it doesn't necessitate having kids, but family, other obligations, you think about time differently, and how much you value and sort of where you want to go with it. What are habits that you think separate stylists who plateau from stylists who continue to grow like yourself? What are things that people can put in place that could help them along the way?
Again, it goes back to being open-minded. If you're not
Mm.
open-minded in this industry, you're just going to hit a wall. And then you're going to wonder why everybody else is growing and their clientele is getting bigger, or why is the baby stylist getting more clients than the senior stylist? You got to be open-minded.
Mm.
Everything is constantly changing. And yes, we really love like that every color is now named after a food? No.
Oh
No, but we
God.
get it. We get it,
Yeah.
and if you're not going to explain to that client, like, okay, so yes, vanilla chai latte, in my mind, this is like maybe light
Lauren.
beige, golden blonde, like you have to
But it
be
could be
able
different for
to,
you. Tell me what
but it
that
could
is.
be
Yeah.
different,
Yep.
right? It could be
Yep.
different. So we're going to look at photos. Right. Instead of, because then I find that, there's people maybe who are mocking them or not being helpful with that, or like, I don't do that. Yes, you do. You do. You've done it before. You just don't you do it in that name. Like we love a Bardo bang. I love a Bardo bang. I'm always
Mhm.
going to call it a Bardo bang. But if someone who's 20 wants to call it a curtain bang, then let's call it a curtain bang for her. If that's what she wants to call it, that's fine. But we're still delivering the same thing. But if you're fighting it, you're only hurting yourself.
Perfect. Perfect. To that end, any hair trends that you'd like to see disappear? Maybe not the naming convention, but is there
Okay.
anything overall where you're like, please, let's not do any more of that?
Oh, that's a
Maybe
tough
not.
one. I mean, it's interesting. I think like the client finds the salon that's going to give them the type of look they're going for.
Hmm.
Like we're known for our blondes and like our timeless looks, especially our
Hmm.
balayage, whereas maybe a salon downtown might be known for those vibrant, fun, poppy colors. So it doesn't really translate into my clientele. No, I think if anything, it's not about the trend, it's about the change, the constant change that I wish that they would understand. It isn't always easy.
I
Yeah.
love that you brought up speciality,
Mhm.
and sort of what your salon is bringing to the table. Do you think that it's important that colorists specialize, that they do sort of become known for a
Mm.
specific color or technique, or is it important to be more well-rounded? Like, there's so much back and forth around this, so I'm genuinely curious, in your perspective, like, where do you land?
I have stylists that can do everything, both cut and color and
Hmm.
keratins and updos, and they do it
Hmm.
all. And then there's someone like me who I can do it, but my specialty is color. I
Hmm.
know what I'm strong at, I know what I'm good at, and I know that the results are always going to be there and people are going to be happy. I love to do balayage. I love to do blondes. Like, can I do a redhead? Of course. And I have plenty of redheads and plenty of brunettes, but what I'm known for is balayage and blondes. Do I think everyone needs to just hone in and be like, well, that's what I can do? Maybe, I don't know. I mean, the city, I think, yes, I think a specialty is great. But I think if you're in a small town in the suburbs or in the middle of, of the country, you may have to do it all. You may
Hmm.
not have the kind of client that is like, I'm only going to see this person for color and I'm only going to see this one for cut. There are people that, listen, when I was young, I loved to do everything. I was like, I want
Yeah.
to do perms, I want to do prom hair, I want to do it
Yep.
all. But now, like, this is what I want to do and this is what I'm going to do. And if this is what you're looking for, then you can see this person that works for me.
I really like that you keep doing that, because it's you're still providing service. You're transferring the relationship
Mhm.
is being extended to someone else. It doesn't end, or close off. You're not sort of shutting it down, which is so important. And I think that it can be done artfully. And this is a good
I
reminder,
think
I
so
think, for
too.
people that are listening, that we don't have to come from a place of competition, and like, it really can be collaborative and generative. Like, you can sort of pass it forward. And
I
I'm
think so
just
too.
remarking that, like, you've done this a couple of times, which I like. Tell me about, like, what is exciting you right now? After 2 decades in the industry, you got many more ahead of you. What's lighting you up? What are you excited about for the future?
I mean, I love the hair of the early 2000s. Like, I love a lived-in, sun-kissed Giselle balayage. So I love that the girls are asking for that again.
Hmm.
I love Margot Robbie. I'm sure you saw my Instagram. Like, I love that she's Barbie blonde 1 minute and then like a lived-in surfer blonde the next.
Hmm.
Like, that
So
always
good.
excites me. It excites me that, those are variations and changes that you can do with your hair that are easy and won't wreck your hair. Um, yeah, I think that, gosh, what else? I love how much hair care is out there that's wanting to help people with maintaining what they have. And then there's so many new types of products that have, like UV protection
Hmm.
and, protection for heat. Like, there's just different ingredients that are coming out. And I love anything that can help maintain the color. I love anything that's going to condition the hair and maintain the color. For me as a colorist, it's going to just make my job easier. And I know that their hair will be healthy too.
So we're product junkies on this podcast. Is
Hmm.
there a line? Is there a specific product of the moment where you're like, that's it? It's what I like. And if so, what is
Yeah,
it?
I think Caracolor is where it's at. I think Caracolor is amazing. I think there's something for everyone in the line. There are great shades for blondes. That's not just, okay, here's something purple. I love that everything's very conditioning. I love the tones for the brunettes. That's probably my favorite actually. And the champagne. The champagne is chef's kiss. I love it.
Chef's
I've had
kiss.
a few girls that, that are copper, have copper hair, and they've been using it in between appointments, and their hair is so shiny and stays vibrant. Because as you know, red is really hard to keep the vibrancy, but also hard to get
Hmm.
out of the hair. So knowing that they have something that can keep it really vibrant before they come back to me is great. I love Rose. I think Rose is a great line. I love Filament. That's a new treatment that we're seeing out there.
Hmm.
So yeah, there's some really good stuff. But I think with Caracolor, there's something for everyone.
Love, love. All right, let's get into it if we could. Our quick
Yep,
takes. These are the
let's
questions
do
we
it.
ask of all of our guests, and then we're going to let you get
Okay.
back to the salon. Because if it's
Okay,
not clear to
great.
everybody, you are working right now. So
I
thank you.
am, if you can
Uh,
see the salon in the background, but yes.
exactly. All right, let's do it.
Okay.
If you could instantly master one skill, what would it be? And this is not hair specific, although it could be if you really want to go that direction.
Okay, one skill that I could master that isn't hair related or is hair related. Okay, let me think. Um, Interior design and decorating. I love it.
But I feel like you got that down. That's not, I mean,
I use it in here. It's like
yeah.
if there's something else like I would do, it would be that. And I
Okay.
use the space to kind of, fill that little bit in me. Yeah.
All right. All right. What is the current go-to song or album? What are you listening to right now?
Oh God, I am such a music junkie. Okay. I mean, yesterday I was listening to Bjork, and then the day before that, I was listening to Depeche Mode. Like, I love Interpol. Like, I listen to them probably once a day. Fleetwood Mac. I mean, I don't have a go-to. I have like, who am I listening to in this moment? Like, I
Excellent.
make all the
Excellent.
salon playlists. Like, I was probably like a DJ in a past life. I don't know.
I feel like the reason we ask is that so many of our guests are like you, or like
Yeah.
very specific niche tastes, and then like we're better for it because we get to hear like, oh
Yeah.
yeah, I should listen to Bjork again. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Love
Yeah.
that. Okay. What is a haircut or color trend that you are secretly obsessed with right now? Is there something out there? I mean, again, we've talked a little bit about you're not trend driven, but is there something where you're like, ooh, I actually really like that?
I love a baby bang. I love a baby bang. I
Yes.
love it. I love like a short. I love it. I wish I could do it, but I can't. I
You don't
love it.
think
I
you could
think
pull it
it's
off?
no, definitely not. But God, I love it. I think it's so cool. I do. Even if it's curly, whether it's straight, like I love it.
I'm with you. I think
Yeah.
baby bangs are where it's at. I feel like
Yeah.
you could definitely do it though.
Oh,
So
well, thank you. Maybe I'll
just
just
putting
go
that out
buy a
there.
little one.
Yeah, yeah, clip on. Yep, yep, yep. If you could do a dream celebrity client's hair for a day, who would it be and what would you do?
God, that's a good one. I would probably want to do Margot Robbie. Like, I love her and I love her hair. And I would just be like, I just want to balayage your hair and keep doing what you have going on. But like,
Mhm.
yeah, I love her hair.
I'd love that for you.
Yeah.
Hair god. She's so good. Her
Yeah,
blonde,
she's just so
so good.
great. And I
Yeah, no.
actually really love her bob right now with her little bangs. Like,
Same.
yeah,
Yeah, we're on the same
it's a good
page.
one.
It's very good. All right, last question, we'll let you go. What
Yeah.
is a tiny thing that made you smile this week?
My son.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. All right, Lauren, if people are not already following, where can they find you? Where can they hit you up? What drop the links and we'll include everything in the show notes.
Okay, great. So you can follow me on Instagram at lady.lrn or at the salon, LRN Beauty NYC. And
Perfect.
TikTok is also LRN Beauty NYC.
Boom. And again, in the show notes, make it nice and easy for everybody. You can just click through.
Perfect. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh,
This is a
no,
lot of
thank you.
fun.
Oh,
Thank
I'm
you.
so glad we did this. I mean, what a conversation. I love, firstly, that she took it from the salon. Like, we
Same.
say this all the time. We love talking to pros, and like, she's got shit to do. She's a very busy, hot, in-demand hairstylist.
Dang.
And it was like we were thrilled to be able to connect with her between clients. And that's real life.
That's
And
real life.
just like what a wealth of information, like so much experience. And I'm so glad that we got to connect.
A treat. Be sure to hit subscribe, rate, review, and follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and TikTok at Breathe the Tease, and send in questions to volumeup@thetease.com.
Volume Up is a Tease Media production. This episode was produced by Monica Hickey and Madeline Hickey. James Arbache is our editor and audio engineer. Thank you to our creative team for the custom Volume Up theme song and for putting together the graphics and videos for this episode.